Alright guys, I'm going to do a breakdown for the project because I'm not there today. So we're breaking down this chemistry, PBL. I'm going to do the I'm going to do the basic PBL first, and then I'm going to focus on the two side projects, the ones that you guys are going to be starting on Monday. I'm going to do the gen ed first, and then the pre-AP. I'll put in the description where the pre-AP one starts at, so you guys can just buffer it over. But first, you were given one of these guys on Friday, hopefully. You still have it. If not, you'll have to follow the link in the descriptions to the Evernote site and download the pieces from there. So, I'm sorry if I sniffle. My allergies are kind of bugging me. So with this guy, this is the first element. I gave you like the mass on this one and the electrons. And if you remember, these three numbers are always going to be the same. So if I gave you one of these three, then it's going to tell you the other two. So for this one, I gave you the electrons are 19. So I'm going to look at my periodic table. Just a hint, none of these are pulled from the transition metals. So they're only pulled from one group, group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So I'm looking for the element that has an atomic number of 19. So that would be this potassium. So when I go to fill it in, because the paperwork asks, like part of your homework for the weekend was to fill it in. So the atomic number of 19, protons are 19. To figure out neutrons, it's mass minus protons. So 39 minus 19, 9 minus 9, 0, 3 minus 1 is 2. So my number of neutrons is 20. Because it's in this first group, it's going to have one valence electron. If you forgot how to do the number of valence electrons, it's however many I have to count over to get to it. So 1 valence electron, 2 valence electron, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 valence electron, 8 valence electrons. So then it says, using the periodic table of elements, what mysterious planet element number 1 is most similar to? That would be potassium. The second question is explain your answer. Be sure to address atomic structure. So I'm going to basically give what's up here. And I'm just going to draw it because that's easiest to draw. Neutrons, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I'm going to say group 1, 1 valence electron, period. I'm going to count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth period. 1, 2, 3, 4 shells. Oh, I just wrote on there. Period 4. So 4 shells. And then it says, using the periodic table of elements, where on the periodic table would you place the mysterious element number 1? Be sure to include group and period. Explain the physical and chemical properties. So I'm just going to do phys, chem. I know that its physical properties, it's a silver, gray, easy to cut. There's more, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Chemical properties, I'm going to say highly reactive. Oxidized. quickly, very reactive with water. So this would be your homework. Now, to do the other projects, so to find out which group you are assigned to, you're going to use your mystery element. So with this one, it's potassium. So my mystery group, if you have element A or if you have potassium, is going to be this. Oop, my stand's getting in the way. So I'm assigned to group 1. My group. Now, if you're in the gen ed class and you're doing your wanted poster, your wanted poster is going to be over lithium. If your element is in group 2, then your mystery element is for your wanted poster is beryllium. Same thing. If yours is to group 13, then it's boron. Group 14 is carbon. Group 15 is nitrogen. 16 is oxygen. 17 is fluorine. And then you can't see it here because of my hole punch. But if you have group 18, then your element is neon. So to break it down, your wanted poster is the element in period 2 of your group. Oh, that's sloppy. There you go. A period for your group. So then that takes us to, let's look at this project that we're going to start. So everybody's going to do this, it's like a family album or a group album. So the first things, we're just going to go through this breakdown over here. So your cover is going to have to be neatly decorated. It needs to have the group that you're doing and your name on it. Once you've gotten the group and you've got it colored, then you start looking at the inside. Pages 1 and 2 are your mystery elements. So that's the paper from Friday. So using your mystery element you were given, identify which group it belongs to, support your claim on these 2 pages with the CER. You will need to include a picture of the mystery element's Bohr model drawn out. So you will probably need to Google that and see what a Bohr model of your element looks like. So pages 3 through 6. It seems like a lot, but it's really not. So for each element in your group, so if I'm looking at my group that I'm doing, so I'm in group 1 for my mock-up that I've done. I would have a page for hydrogen, not lithium because I just did it, a page for sodium, a page for potassium. No, scratch that. I will have a page for hydrogen, a page for lithium, a page for sodium. This, from the one that I've done, if you have element A, your mystery group, your mystery element will be that page 1 and 2. So if you've already got, you don't have to include him. So you keep going. So then you would do rubidium. You will need to have 4 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to do cesium or francium if I have group 1 as your assigned group. So then looking back, I'm going to have for each element in the group, 1 element per page, the name of the element, the date of discovery, and some basic element information and traits. Pages 7 through 8, so it's just 2 pages. You're going to draw a family picture of how they're used. This should not say used ages, that should say usages. So what are they used for? That's the key point. You're going to draw for 2 pages. You get 2 pages of space. You're going to draw what are your elements in your group's usages. Why do we care about them? And then looking at 9 through 10, pages 9 through 10. This is individual pictures of the elements. So you're going to draw each of the elements in your group, labeling the parts of the atom. So you're going to draw it You can draw it like this. Just make it look neater than my sloppy circles. So you want to take time to make it look neat and give care to it. And then the last part is going to be your speaking. We will use about 15 minutes on Thursday to have everybody present to their small group. This down here, this is super important. Everybody this is going to be the first artifact into your e-portfolio that we set up with Evernote. So these are the things going into Evernote. This needs to be your very best work. Think refrigerator worthy. Would you want your mom to hang this up in the house? Would you want me to put this up on the board or in the hallway? If the answer is no, then fix it and make it look better. On the back of that page, you have the rubric. This tells you which page we're talking about. In here, it gets a more detailed explanation for what needs to be on each page. So this is how I'm going to grade your project over Thanksgiving break. So if you can't honestly say it's going to check off all of these outstanding columns, then you need to address it so that you get the best grade possible. All right, so we are 11 minutes in, and we are going to look at the Gen Ed project. This is the wanted poster. So with your wanted poster, you need to make sure that it includes all of these things. The crime is going to be its chemical properties. The description is going to be its physical properties. On the board, I will have an example that you cannot copy. I repeat, underline, highlight. You cannot copy what this one looks like because it's not going to be an option. I think it's one of, because it's at the school, it's one of these lower elements. So you can't use it for your, because the only ones that should be seen are these top in that period too. So I want to just draw attention because I think we went over this in class pretty heavily. The resources that you can use are going to be on Edmodo, but there's a wonderful website called ptable.com. This is when we were looking up resources, or you were looking up stuff to fill up your information about elements. Earlier in the chemistry unit, this is going to have all of this. It has all of this information that you need, all of these things here. So I'll link that. I will link that through Edmodo. But what I want to bring your attention to is this little piece right here. It says you may format your information in your own creative style. That means that you do not have to copy or make it look just like the one that's on the board. You can make it look however you want. Where'd it go? Do not place your element's name on the poster. If you are doing the element beryllium, I should not see the words beryllium anywhere on that poster because it needs to not. Remember, a wanted poster, I should be able to tell what you're telling. I should be able to understand what you're trying to tell me based on the information there. So, ptable.com. Do not put the name. Do not put the name of your element on your poster. You have creative liberties with this. You can make it look however you want. And then you need to make sure that all of this information is on there somewhere. So let's look at the pre-AP paper. So you guys have the same page as the other guys, but we're going to do this super fast because I got about 45 seconds. You guys are going to pick one of these three. I'm going to put it on the sideboard on the graffiti wall so you can see what they look like. I think I have one of each of these two guys. I'm going to put a link in the description for my YouTube video on this. But what I wanted you guys to see is, because I don't think people heard me, this is not a tech-based project. So this is a paper-based project. And I need you guys to use your time and collect all the information for it. The rubric, just like the regular project, is on the back. So this is the rubric I'm going to use to grade your project. And then up here are your guiding questions. So this is the things that you should be able to talk about when I ask you questions. So what is important about this concept? What are some everyday items your concept is found in? How is knowing this concept going to help you in your life? These are guiding questions to help you when you start to be able to discuss your project, because you will also have a conversation piece. So hopefully that's it. I think that's all. If you have questions, you can get on Messenger and let me know. But that's all I got.